Are you looking to buy a property but not sure on the different types of valuation report? I've got you covered. Stick around to find out. Hi, if we haven't met before, my name's Dan and I'm a CMAP qualified mortgage and protection advisor. This video is purely for educational purposes only and should not be seen as advice or recommendation to act. And I must stress, as the mortgage is secured against your home, it could be repossessed if you do not keep up with the mortgage repayments. With that out of the way, on with the video. There are three types of valuation reports which are the most common. You have standard valuation, also known as a mortgage valuation, a home buyer's report, and a building survey, which used to be known as a full structural survey. So what is a mortgage valuation? When you apply for a mortgage, the lender will want to estimate the value of the property you want to purchase before they agree to secure the mortgage against it. This is required to ensure that should you default on your mortgage and the lender needs to repossess the property, they require the confidence in knowing that they are able to cover the mortgage debt by selling the property. A mortgage valuation report usually involves a short survey on the property. These can be physical inspections or carried out from the surveyor's office. These are referred to as desktop valuations. With a physical inspection, a valuer will look for issues that may indicate a property risk for the lender, such as subsidence, but this is a very basic report which would not give a lot of detail. This type of valuation is something your lender will usually instruct, although they may ask you to pay the fee as part of their loan application process. Something to note is a mortgage valuation is primarily focused on the property's value and isn't necessarily the best valuation to opt for when buying a property. Just because a property is mortgageable, it doesn't make it habitable. This is why you can pay for a home buyer's report. So what is a home buyer's report? A home buyer's report is a survey to find and document any problems in the property that could cause damage and need future repairs, such as damp or subsidence. A home buyer's report is carried out on the homes that are in a reasonable condition and only checks for easily visible problems. The home buyer report will not detail every single aspect of the building, but it can reveal issues that might impact the value of the property and need further investigation. It will include all major sections of a property that are visible to the surveyor, so they will not lift up floors or carpets, and wiring will not be included. So what is included in a home buyer report? The home buyer report includes background information of the property and the location, an assessment of any damp proofing, drainage or insulation in the building, although drains are not tested and you'd need to get a separate report for this. Condition of the building's timbers and checking for woodworm or rot. Damp test results are taken from the walls. Details of any urgent problems which should receive specialist attention before signing a contract. Details of any major faults in easy to get to parts of the property that may affect its value. If you have a property that is in need of renovation or that you intend to alter, then you can consider a building survey instead of a home buyer report. The home buyer report is easily understood and written in plain English rather than technical jargon. The report has a system of condition ratings which helps you understand the severity of the problem. These are condition rating 1, no repair currently needed, condition rating 2, defects that need repairing or replacing but are not considered to be serious or urgent, and condition rating 3, defects that are serious and or need to be repaired, replaced or investigated urgently. What happens if your surveyor finds a problem? Most surveys will find some sort of issue, especially with older properties. If you have any concerns, you can highlight these with the surveyor before they carry out the inspection. Most surveyors are usually happy to talk through the report with you over the phone after you've received your report. So if you do have follow-up questions, that would be the best time to ask. Some of the most common things you might want to investigate are electrics, issues with the roofing, central heating, damp, and structural problems which may need an engineer. If you find any of these issues, you may need to take further action, such as ask the surveyor how much it might cost to fix these issues, get a quote from a builder or a professional for the major works, and renegotiate the asking price or ask the seller to fix the issues before you complete on the sale. How much does a home buyer's report cost? Good question, but you won't like the answer. The answer is It depends. It depends on the property value and the size. As the bigger the property, the more there is to check, which takes the surveyor longer. It is advisable to shop around to get the cheapest quote, but some mortgage lenders have agreements already in place with surveying firms to carry out home buyers report at a reduced cost. So speak to your mortgage advisor or lender to find this out. So what is a building survey? A building survey is an in-depth inspection of a property. It is the most comprehensive of the surveys available for residential properties, and it will provide a detailed valuation of a property's condition. The building survey report will describe the condition of each element of the house and identify the property's defects and what's causing these. Also, the urgency of repair, maintenance options, and it may also include the approximate costs of repair. Building surveys are conducted by chartered surveyors. It's important to check that the surveyor you selected is regulated by RICS, as they set the guidance for surveyors. As building surveys aren't as common as home buyer reports, I won't go into any more detail in this video, but if you want to contact me for further information, I'll be happy to help. However, I'm not regulated by RICS or a qualified surveyor, so my knowledge will be limited. I will leave a link in the description below to a sample of a RICS building survey report, so you can see what it covers. If you found this video helpful and you wish to buy me a coffee, I've put a link in the description below. But even more importantly, if you need my help, please contact me. If you need a first-time buyer's guide on how to obtain a mortgage and the property buying process, it can be found here. And remember, as a mortgage is secured against your home, it could be repossessed if you do not keep up with the mortgage repayments. Thank you very much for watching. See you next week.